Hi, this is Kathy Quinn with Floriani. Floriani is a division of R&K Distributing, and I want to welcome you to the construction portion of this month's Project of the Month, our gift tags. This month we are going to make gift tags on cardstock. These are a real hit. I used them this year, and it has been really nice. They're very easy to make, simple to design, so let's go ahead and get started. First thing I want you to do is hoop Floriani medium cutaway stabilizer. It's very important that you're using a cutaway. You can use medium or heavy if you already have heavy at home. If not, make sure you pick up some medium cutaway. It does not need to be fusible. So always remember, when we hoop 1 inch larger than our hoop. The next thing I want you to do is take your cardstock, and I recommend buying a good quality cardstock. You're going to put time and effort into these, and you'll find people are so thrilled that they want to save them. You're going to take that piece of cardstock, lay your inner hoop on top of it, and trace it. Now in today's example, we're only making one gift tag at a time. However, as we created in our software, as large as your hoop is, as many as it will hold, you can use. Just make sure that your cardstock covers the whole embroidery area, so you don't find that one of your tags is just a little short of having cardstock in it. So I go ahead, in this example, I've used my medium hoop, and I've gone ahead and filled the entire hoop with cardstock because it's not that large. So I have traced it and I have cut it out. We are then going to make sure we spray the back of the piece of cardstock. Now if you look at your cardstock carefully, a lot of times one side will be textured. Make sure to put the textured side up. We're going to spray it. We're going to go ahead and stick our cardstock down into our hoop. And notice, since we traced it, it fits very nicely. We don't have it lifted up on the sides or the corners, and we do not have to worry about it being too small and not catching, our thread not catching all of it. Make sure that you have adhered it well. Make sure that that is stuck down in there, because you do not want that cardstock loose or flopping up and down, because that's going to cause you problems. Go ahead and put it on your machine, and let's push our magic button, and let's stitch out our tag. Now you're going to stitch out everything but your last color. So we've got our lettering on there, our design on there. You can see we've stitched out the outline so we can see where the outline of the tag itself is. You are going to remove the hoop from the machine, but be very careful not to unhoop your stabilizer and your cardstock, because we still have a step left. We're going to take another piece of cardstock, just making sure it's large enough to cover that stitched outline that we can see now on the back of our stabilizer. Again, you're going to spray the cardstock, making sure to spray the correct side. Put your textured side where is looking at you. Go ahead and stick that down to your hoop. Now that it is adhered, being careful, put your hoop back on your machine, making sure not to knock that cardstock loose. You want to make sure it's still in there. You are also going to wind a bobbin with the same thread that you have in your top for your final satin stitch, because of course we want it to look pretty on the top and the bottom. The bottom piece of cardstock is covering all your other stitching, so all you will ever actually see on the back, once this is complete, is you will see the satin stitch outline, and you will see the little eyelet we created for you to put your ribbon or your crochet thread through. Once you've done that, put your bobbin that you have wound in your bobbin case. That's always important, to make sure after you've wound it that you actually put it in the machine. Ask me how I know. So go ahead and put that on your machine and push to your button to go ahead and complete your last color. Once completed, you will remove it from the machine and the hoop. And I want you to notice, I am just lifting the corner of the cardstock. It has perforated out very, very nicely. There is no need to try and cut these little bitty shapes. I tried that, and it was just a really difficult thing to do and to get perfect placement. I found that using a little extra cardstock, making it larger than the area and pulling it off was very nice. Now when I used my large hoop and did 10 tags at once, it fits beautifully at 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock with very little waste. So of course I used a piece on top and a whole sheet on bottom, and then again they just pulled away this easily. You'll pull it away from the front and the back, and then take yourself a small pair of scissors. Don't use big unwieldy scissors because you want to cut right next to your stitching without cutting through it. Now if you were to have a little bit of cardstock showing, or you didn't get really, stabilizer showing, you didn't get really close, remember, Pigma pins are legal. Now I've found that I can trim right up to that stitching without a problem at all. The only time I'd ever see you might have a problem is perhaps if you were using black as an outline, and you might see some of that white showing through, because we don't have a super dense satin stitch because we don't want to actually chop the whole thing up. You will then take your stiletto or any sharp object, little pair of scissors, and I want you to very carefully pick your piece of cardstock out of your eyelet and poke a hole through your stabilizer. This will allow you to put a piece of ribbon, or in my case I bought some crochet thread and in different colors as I've been making my tags. You will string that through. You can write your message on the back, unless of course you personalize the front. And now you have gift tags for your gifts. And as you can see, I've used the Christmas example simply because we're around the holiday season. But as you can see, I've done personalized tags for my son Jake, your Valentine tags, any type of gift you have. These tags, if you do a single tag, takes 7 minutes at 600 stitches per minute to stitch out. That is something else I would like to bring up. If you are stitching a satin stitch, always slow your machine down, especially with cardstock, because the faster your machine stitches, the more that satin stitch is going to pull. We want the least amount of pull possible. We want it to stitch nicely, but we don't want it to be pulling very hard against those edges. Just think, you could also make, just by changing the shape, you could do a 2 by 5 inch bookmark with cardstock. You've learned how to create it. Now just change the shape. Think of how nice personal bookmarks would be to give to your friends, to give away. Wonderful gift ideas, very inexpensive. It is not time consuming, and they are very much appreciated. I want to thank you for coming to my Project of the Month Gift Tags class, and I look forward to seeing you again in class next month.